G'day there guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. I do hope you're having a fantastic day, and with that said, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the barbie, and let's get right into it. Posted by user PurpleLad823, titled, Am I the asshole for being upset about debt my girlfriend took on to help her family? My 33 male, girlfriend, 33 female and I have been together for 1 year, and we've recently started talking about our financial situations in preparation for marriage in the future. I found out that my girlfriend has a $600K mortgage under her name for the family home where her and her family currently live. She co-owns the home with her brother, and their family has lived there for the past 8 years. The payments for the mortgage and all other bills are paid by everyone living there, so my girlfriend only contributes about a quarter of her income to paying the loan. There is 22 years left on the mortgage, and she let me know that the plan is that they would not be selling the home once we got married, and she would move out of it, while the mortgage and bills will be paid by her family who will continue living there. Her parents are both older, and her mother has a disability, so she let me know that her brother and her bought the house to help their parents have a secure place to live. And this house is important to keep for her family's well-being. My girlfriend has no other debts aside from this mortgage, and she earns a 6-figure salary, which is more than I do. She has mentioned that she's willing to work a second part-time job to help us buy our own home in the future if needed. And she also has an emergency savings, investments, and other savings to help with a future down payment. She plans to continue getting salary increases and is very hardworking and ambitious. But I'm worried about the mortgage in her name. This is making me reconsider the relationship. Am I the asshole for being upset about this? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I told my girlfriend I'm not sure that I want to stay with her because of the debt she took on to help her family. I think this might make me the asshole because I want to dump her for helping her family. You know what, OP, if that's a deal breaker for you, then fair enough, just walk on out of there, because I do think you would be an asshole, but I would still respect your decision, because you are a person that has your own autonomy in this situation. But from where I'm standing, your girlfriend seems to be someone that is very switched on and is an absolute catch. She has a 6-figure salary with aims at increasing that salary year on year. She has emergency savings, investments, and other savings to help with future down payments. How many people do you know that just have emergency savings ready to go? That's some straight up fire investment right there. Financial independence and retire early. This is someone who is very much switched on, very much has a plan for their future and how they're going to dictate their life, and realizes they can have this mortgage while also making a down payment for another house in the future. I can see why you're upset about it, but I'm sure they've talked you through this and why and how it works, but you're presenting us a spun version of your story. You haven't even presented arguments as to how that would negatively affect you, just its mere presence is imposing. And I could agree with you if this was someone that was not financially responsible, but you've very much given me ammunition here as to this is someone that is financially responsible, so what's your argument? I do think that you're pulling at straws here, though I would respect your decision either way, I still think you're an asshole. In the comments, Brief Tumbleweed 918 says, You're the asshole. Read all of their comments. She makes more and has all the assets. OP's life goal is to live in a $1 million home, shallow much, and she is their ticket. OP, please do your girlfriend a favor and dump her. She is way out of your league. Why should I have to increase my income? Whined OP. Because on your income, you can't buy anything? $1 million house. Okay, gold digger. You're the asshole, and it has nothing to do with you thinking financially. It has everything to do with you looking at your girlfriend like she is your quick and easy way to the nice life. You're only concerned about this mortgage because of what you bring to the table and your unwillingness to work harder. You said in your own comments that you make $90K while your girlfriend makes a 6-figure salary and you don't want to live in a $500K home. Meanwhile, on your own, you can't even afford to live in a $500K home. You bring nothing financially to this relationship, and yet you're willing to leave her because she can't provide you a bigger home. You're selfish and greedy, not financially savvy. You're the asshole. Your girlfriend sounds like a caring, thoughtful, and responsible daughter and sister. She's taking care of her family along with her brother. That's what a caring family should do for each other. If you don't like it, you know that you don't have to stay, right? You're free to find someone who suits your ideas more, and your wonderful girlfriend can find someone who appreciates her. When you marry someone, you marry their family unless they are horrible people, which from your description they're not. Maddie's my dog says, look, if you love her and she loves you, forget about money. It comes and goes. You both can make more to cover bills. If she makes you happy, forget about money. She's trying to help her parents. Her intentions are good. She's a keeper. And OP says, I know, but I always wanted an expensive house, and I don't think I can get that with her, so why shouldn't I get my $1 million home? OP on his girlfriend and her family. Says, thanks for your help. My girlfriend is very close with her family and has had a very loving experience with them growing up, so she is of the opposite mind when it comes to these things. I think it's something that she highly values, and I appreciate your perspective. The 2 last comments from OP, no, I'm not a sociopath. I just always wanted a $1 million home, so why should I sacrifice that? If I leave, I might find another woman who doesn't have debt that I can achieve my dream with. I'm not looking for an excuse. I want to buy an expensive house, so why should I not get the $1 million home that I've always wanted? If I were to leave, maybe I would find another woman who doesn't have this debt and can help buy the type of property I've always wanted. And onto the update, posted by the girlfriend, titled, My boyfriend, 33 male, posted about wanting to dump me, 33 female, for debt that I took on to help my family. So my boyfriend posted about wanting to dump me for taking on a mortgage to help my family. As you can tell, I found his post and I've broken things off with him. I wanted to post an update to let you all know. I'm so grateful for all of your comments and for everyone who provided their thoughts. Reading the post was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to go through, and this situation has caused me a lot of anxiety and worry, but I'm glad I found out. I worry that I may not even find a partner willing to stick it out with me because of my situation, but I know I have to keep going. I'll keep working hard and hoping that I'll find someone who won't ask me to compromise my values to make him money. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. In the comments, quote, because of my situation. By situation, do you mean that you're a caring and loving daughter who goes above and beyond for her family? You're ambitious, motivated, and considerate. Yeah, screw that guy. He's a tool and a gold digger. You're way more of a catch than you've expressed here. Right? Making $90K and having dreams of owning a $1 million house. Imagine the payment on that mortgage. The house is going to own him, lol. Well, that escalated quickly. Original votes. No assholes here. Boyfriend in the comments, let me change that perception real quick. Yeah, straight from, I have the forethought to know that our financial goals are different, to, I want her to fund my $1 million home. I love that idea more than I love her, because $1 million home. But to be very clear, not my $1 million. This girl made the perfect decision. If he finds this to be such an issue, she no longer fritters away her time. And considering it's Personal Finance Canada, his $1 million home could be a 3-bedroom in British Columbia or a 2-bedroom condo in Toronto at this rate. Otherwise, a $1 million home in most of the country is over the top for a couple like this. It's a vanity wish at best, not unlike wanting a Rolex or an M-Series BMW, and unlikely to be an actual reflection of their local real estate market. Why shouldn't I get my $1 million home? Because you can't afford it, OP. It doesn't even seem like he can afford the $600K house that his girlfriend's family lives in on his own. His eyes aren't matching his wallet. Our next post is by user ThrowAwayShit1T Mum, titled, I will never speak to my mum or sister again once I turn 18. This is purely a rant. You can call me a monster, I don't care. I, 17 female, will never speak to my mum or sister again on my next birthday. Growing up, my parents were great. That was until my mum threw it all away and decided to cheat on my dad. My dad divorced, and the affair baby, my sister, 10 female, was born. I was 7 at the time. In the court, my mum somehow managed to get full custody. I think she played dirty and brought up past issues that my dad used to have. He had a substance abuse problem before I was born. My dad doesn't really say anything bad about my mum, however. He says that there is nothing he can do, and we just have to work with it for now and wait until I'm 18. I see my dad once a week on the weekend, and I get to spend 1 week a year with him every summer, but I'm stuck with my mum the majority of the time. My sister is profoundly disabled, to the point where she requires assistance for everything. She is useless. Since she was born, all my time outside of school has been dedicated to her. I stopped learning the piano, going to friends' houses, playing basketball, all because I had to help her. I've been wearing the same clothes at home for the past 3 years, since my sister has priority over everything. Dinner, only once she eats. I don't know why I call her my sister. She should be half-sister, but she's not even worth that. My dad used to pay a lot more child support than required for the first 2 years after the divorce, but 90% of the money went to my sister, so he stopped and started paying the minimum. Still, only 10% goes to me. I don't blame him for this. Why should he support an affair baby? He tried to take my mum to court about not using the child support correctly, but it was unsuccessful. Only in the past 3 months have I managed to get a bit of time to myself without having to take care of the affair child when I'm not at school. I told my mum that I had to spend a couple of extra hours after school 3 days a week. She initially refused, but she accepted only because I told her that I needed it to prepare to get into a good college so I could get a good job to take care of my sister. I lied. Instead, I go to my best friend's house. Her parents are super understanding. My mum doesn't even care enough to check that I'm in school. I also go to my dad's best friend's house every day, sometimes just for 5 minutes, because I don't have sufficient equipment at home, and if I take it home from my dad, my mum will sell it for something new for my sister. My dad leaves all my stuff at his friend's house, which is 10 minutes away from where I live. Every day before and after school, I go there to change and to get stuff, and his family have also helped me with college preparation. I've found a college near my dad's house which he will pay for and will let me live there. My mum knows nothing about this. She thinks I'm going to a college close to home and will continue to look after my sister with her. She is oblivious, but then again, even if I made it obvious at home, she wouldn't notice. I will be free in 2 weeks, and I will live at my dad's friend's house until school finishes, and then I will move to my dad's since it is far from school. I will never speak to my mum or sister again after that. I can't wait to spend more time with my dad and his family. I have a stepbrother who is the same age, who is amazing, and we will go to college together. He actually makes me feel happy, and I like spending time with him. My dad's friend has bought a small electric piano so I can play with it once I go there, and we found a basketball club for me to join. It will be great. I won't be burdened by my sister again. You can call me a monster since she didn't ask for this life, but I don't care. I didn't ask to take care of her. My life has value too. Just because she suffers doesn't mean that I have to, so that the playing field is leveled. My dad is amazing. He also won't have to be financially responsible for a child that isn't his once he stops paying child support for supposedly me. My mum and sister will probably struggle enormously. They might even go homeless. I don't care. I will not know them in a fortnight, but it's not like they know me or really care about me. I'm just a slave to them. I hate my sister, not for what she is, which is nothing, but for ruining my childhood. I hate my mum more. I hope she becomes homeless and a more worthy family can live in the home, not this abuser. I will be free in 14 days. I am currently at my dad's friend's house right now. He and his wife are more like parents to me than my mum is. They actually ask about my dad and care about my feelings. I'm lucky to have such great people on my dad's side. There is no one on my mum's side. She had no siblings, was outcast from the rest of her family when she cheated, and didn't abort the baby. None of them wanted to have to deal with my sister. If they didn't do that, I might have had a childhood. But at least now my mum will have to deal with the consequences of her adultery herself and can't enslave anyone else. I don't blame my mum's family for abandoning her. They are quite clever for recognizing early on that my mum would just rely on them all the time. My dad isn't just the fun dad who gets to look great. He actually cares about me. When I'm sick at school and I needed to get picked up, he would drive an hour to do it or get his friend to do it. My mum couldn't do it since she was busy or needed a rest after looking after my sister. My happiest moments in the last 7 years have all been away from my mum and sister, and I will be able to have that all the time soon. My dad has organized therapy sessions for me to help me settle. He's also organized a trip for 2 weeks during one of the holidays, which will be just between me and him, since we've missed out on a lot because of my mum. I hope she suffers. In the comments, in response to a now deleted comment, OP, referring to her sister, says, "She's responsible for taking away my childhood. I've never got to have a hobby or do anything fun since she was born. My day simply consisted of waking up, helping my sister go to school, coming straight back and helping her again. Before my dad's friends started helping me, I lost some weight because I could only eat after she was satisfied. My mum has not stepped up for me, my sister yes, but not for me. She doesn't even bother talking to me or asking how my day went. My dad doesn't care about how I talk about my sister. He knows that she is the affair baby who still impacts him, as almost all the child support he pays for, me, basically goes to her. He tells me not to talk about her badly, which I don't do except here. But I hate her for what she's caused. I don't hate her for the person she is, but I don't care about her. She's ruined my life and I will soon be free from her." Someone else says, "Reading this at first, I thought, my gosh, awful kid. But as I kept reading, my thought was, you didn't have your sister. It shouldn't be up to you to provide her care. Start collecting things now. If you haven't started, while some other things are easy to replace, it's a huge pain in the butt and time-consuming. Leave them in a trusted place. Or even better, send them to your dad's, via mail, then you can honestly say you have no idea where they are technically. You won't know where he put them. Start counseling. You seem to have a good strong head on your shoulders, but even the strongest branches need support at times. As for your sister, she didn't ask to be born. Where is her bio dad? Is he paying child support for her? She isn't going to understand why you aren't around, and I do feel bad for her about that, but I also understand you have had so much responsibility piled on top of you that you want to walk away cleanly. Who knows, maybe one day you will want to see her, maybe not, but don't slam that door completely. Shut it, walk away, but know it can be opened again on your terms. I wish you luck and much happiness in your new life. You've earned and deserve all the happiness." OP replies, "I don't know much about the bio dad. I don't think he's paying anything. It doesn't seem like it. From what I know, he basically vanished after the affair." Someone else says, "I have no major advice or anything, OP, but listen to the people in the comments about important documents and heirlooms. I know you are full of anger, but be smart and strategic here too, so you won't be able to be caught up again. I truly wish you good luck on everything and hope you pursue your goals and passions. See this new chapter of your life as a rebirth." And OP replies, "Thanks for the advice and the people telling me about preparation. I've already transferred important things. My mum does not care enough to notice anything wrong." Someone else says, "Still odd. Like after a certain age, you're allowed to choose which parent you want to live with." And OP replies, "My dad tried to, but they came up with some bullshit about not disrupting the family unit and the fact that I was settled in my school and my dad lived an hour away. I was never outright given the choice to live there. Maybe if I ran away, it might have worked out differently." Did your mum shut it down or did the court? And OP says, "Both. It was the only time my mum even pretended to give a shit about me." Update. Hi everyone. People asked for an update once I turned 18, so here it is, albeit a few days late. I'd like to start off by thanking everyone who gave support and advice on collecting documents. It means a lot. To others who messaged asking for explicit pictures when I turned 18, and those who say they hoped my dad would abandon me, I'm sorry, but neither of those will be happening. At midnight, I left my mum's house and went to my dad's friend. I just left a note in the kitchen for my mum. I won't be seeing her or her daughter again. I went to my dad's friend's house, and my dad decided to surprise me and come with my stepmom, stepbrother, and half-sister. They were waiting for me, and we had a small celebration with some cake. My dad excused me from school, which they understood, and did the same for my siblings, and we went to his house for the second half of the week. I'm just going back now for tomorrow. The last few days have been great. We went to a theme park and did loads of stuff in the area. I had my first therapy session yesterday, which was okay, but it was a bit difficult to open up. I also had a piano lesson yesterday. My half-sister, who is only 5, can already play some scales, so she sits beside me and we play together when I practice. Her smile is so cute when everyone is clapping. My dad is going to come to his friend's house tomorrow and spend a few days there with me. I blocked my mum when I left, so I haven't been bothered by her, but she's been blowing up my dad and stepmom's phone, demanding money to take care of her daughter, which obviously they won't give. She'll actually have to step up to take care of her daughter without pawning all the responsibility onto others. She threatened to sue my dad for parental alienation and find a way to get money, and then sent voice notes of her daughter so that my dad just blocked her. If she contacts him again with a different number, he will go to speak to his lawyer. I also want to mention how supportive my stepmom has been. I haven't really mentioned her enough since I've been so excited to be with my dad again, but she's been equally as helpful. Unfortunately, I can't be adopted since my mum is still alive. Even though it doesn't mean much since I'm legally an adult now, it would really mean a lot to her. I need to think of something to show my appreciation for her as well. I've been a bit too invested with my dad the past few days. Finally, just thank you to everyone. I have felt happy the past week. In the comments, I'm going to make a suggestion that you should call CPS for your disabled half-sister. Explain that the primary caregiver is left and that she may not be being taken care of and probably requires monitoring for a while. While obviously you have no requirement to do so, please remember that your shitty situation was due to your awful mother, not the 10-year-old half-sister, and she doesn't deserve to be starved or neglected. OP says, my mum won't neglect her. She loves her too much. Now that she can't leech off my dad, she will make a big fuss all over social media. She's already started. She's spun some sob story about how my dad alienated her from me and is getting tons of support. My dad is taking her to court now, but if it all goes bad, she won't hesitate to call CPS herself. She's done it before to get me to come back from holiday with my dad. And they say, that's fair enough. I made the suggestion because a couple of things you mentioned made it seem like she's dependent on her financial benefits and wasn't all that interested in physical care. Usually CPS can monitor, but don't tend to separate parent and child unless there is a significant concern for the child's welfare. OP says, I think she'll manage. She just won't be able to indulge in luxuries like before. For example, for dinner she would buy loads of different meals every day. My sister would have a bit of it, drool over it, and then not like it, so she then eats a different thing. She would get like 6 plates of different food for her and tell me to eat the leftovers which had spit all over them. She'll have to actually try and manage things properly now. And that's all I've got for you guys today. I do hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.